Hello, this is Tomlin from TomlinHarmonicaLessons.com, and this lesson is for everyone out there who feels like they are just repeating the same things over and over on the harmonica and aren't actually getting better. So this is all about how to practice properly, and so I'm going to show you some things that have really kind of helped me kind of hack my practice, if you like, rather than just sort of spending hours and hours and hours making slow progress. This will help you get there a little bit quicker. So the first most important thing when you're practicing is to record yourself, which is really, really horrible. I know you don't want to hear yourself play, but just remember, this is for you. This isn't for anyone else to listen to. So what I do, I just grab the voice memo app on my iPhone, and I record what I'm playing. So I'll play a little phrase. And I'll think, oh, well, that sounds fine. But I'll listen to the recording, and you can hear. Okay, so did you hear that note on the 3 draw? That's way too flat. So I've heard that that's way too flat, and now I'm going to fix it. And all of a sudden, that sounds a lot better. And now I know that that's correct. And I'll record it again, and I'll see the differences. So that's a really important thing. Listen back critically to your playing. And don't just kind of, think to yourself, oh, well, I listened back to it and it sucks. That's not useful. You need to listen back to it and pinpoint exactly what is wrong. So you heard that I said, well, that's a little bit flat, so I need to get the pitch sharper and make sure that it's more accurate. So that's your first idea. Record yourself while practicing, and that's the most important one. The next one is practicing slowly. So if you're trying to nail a really fast riff, and you can just about play it, and you can just about play it at speed, really ask yourself if you can play it well at speed. So, if you're doing something like... So I got through that, but if we listen to it again, you realize that I made loads of mistakes and it was a bit crap. So what you need to do is you need to get your metronome and practice nice and slowly and get it really rock solid. So we'll do... Okay, so I have a rule for myself and for my students. You have to be able to play something 3 times in a row without making any mistakes at a certain tempo. And be really harsh on yourself before you can speed it up. And you want to speed it up in really small increments, so maybe 5 beats per minute. And do start slowly because you want to build up the foundations. And then 5 beats per minute, keep pushing. But don't push too far, because quite often you'll find that there's a bit of a bump in your improvement on something. So you'll get better, and then you'll start getting worse. And that's really common. So don't worry about that, but just be aware that that's something that happens. So you want to get better, take a break, start practicing tomorrow. Okay? And don't speed up until you get it right. So next thing that you need to think about is really practicing in context. So quite often people will kind of sit and learn these incredible licks, and then when they come to a jam session, they try and throw it into the middle of a 12-bar blues, and it doesn't quite work because the guitarist is playing a slightly different rhythm or it's in a different key. That's no good. What you need to do, once you have learned to lick and you can play it technically, physically you can play it, you then need to try and play it in every different key and try and play it with different tempos and different styles and see how you can make it fit. Because that'll develop your fluidity and your flexibility, which is really important. So always remember to practice in context. So there's a space for practicing here with a metronome, and then you need to put on a backing track and see what you can do, how you can play it in context. So that's really important. And then also see how you can put licks together with other licks. Because quite often we can play these amazing licks by themselves, but then as soon as we try and stick them together with other licks, it doesn't really work. Next tip, practice on different keys. So we'll take that lick that I just played. It's a Pat Ramsey lick though. Okay, so I'm playing that on a D harmonica, and it's okay. It's not great, but I can just about get through it at that speed. And if I try and play it on a G harmonica, let's see what this is like. Awful! Why is that? Because the lower keyed harmonicas, they need a lot more air to play at that kind of speed. So if I want to get it up to that speed on all harmonicas, I need to practice on all keys. So don't just practice fast stuff on higher key harmonicas. Try and get it on the lower key harmonicas. That'll pay dividends. Really, really helpful. So yeah, you're practicing different keys. And then finally, the big thing is to make sure that you practice every day or regularly, at least 3 or 4 times a week. Because if you find that, you get like an hour session once a week, you're not going to improve very well and very quickly. It's all about small incremental growth. It's just like compound interest. That's what your music practice is like. If you do 10 minutes every single day and you're really focused the way I've shown you to be in this lesson, you will improve really quickly. But if you just do a big session every once in a while, you're not going to get anywhere. So yeah, tough love from Tomlin. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this. Please put all of those into action, and I have actually included kind of a PDF checklist that you can click below to download, because I think it's really important that you implement this in your practice routine. And yeah, click like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss next week's Wednesday lesson. Take care.